What is going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. Welcome back to What They Don't Tell You, produced by Podcast One. I am your host, Jordyn Jones. If you guys did not know that, I am the host. If you guys are watching on YouTube right now, you will see that me and my guest over here, we are devouring some Thin Mints during this interview. But aside from the Thin Mints, we have something better. We have something better on the table, and that is our guest, Lauren Kettering.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
So, let's first talk about these Thin Mints, girl.
No, yeah. I will. They'll be gone by then.
We're going to be like,
I probably shouldn't eat them on this because I'll look like, I'm like, okay.
And then they'll have stuff in our teeth. Oh my gosh, the other day I was like eating them because I ordered 10 boxes and the producer Steve was like, you guys like Thin Mints? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, you can never have enough. And I had my teeth were full, and I think I went live on Instagram or something, and oh my god, I was so embarrassed, because I had just had 17 Thin Mints. But
yeah, this is news to me. I didn't even know that it was Girl Scout season, so I'll be ordering.
It's really sad that they're not just sitting there.
Yeah, and on the side of the street or in front of the stores.
And then you have to go out the end because you already bought 10 boxes, and then you have to be like, I'll buy some after, and then you go out the other door.
Yeah,
that's really sad. But it's because I already bought 10 from one person. But fun fact about Thin Mints, you guys, before I get started. This is so totally not planned right now. But, so when Steve asked me, Jordyn, do you like Thin Mints? Lauren, do you like Thin Mints? In my head, I'm thinking, dang, he got them in LA, and they're not going to be the Thin Mints that I like, because guess what, honey? There's 2 different manufacturers of Thin Mints. One in the,
Are you being so educated about Thin Mints?
Because I care so deeply, okay? This is a very serious addiction. So, there is, 2 manufacturers, and one of them is, little brownie bakers, okay? And one of them's gluten-free and one of them's not. One of them's thinner and a flower shape, and the other one's thicker and tastes obviously way better. These are the good ones. So Steve came through, and I've had to do so much research, okay? Because when you're in LA County, they have the bad ones. But then if you go to Ventura or Orange or wherever, or if you order them online from it is so in depth. It's so in depth. So the little brownie whatevers, they're the good ones. So I got lucky.
If I go to the little Girl Scouts, I'm trying to buy Girl Scout cookies. I have to be
yeah. If they look like this, then they're the good ones. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then if they're the flowers, they're not good.
I haven't seen the flower ones. I don't think.
Because you probably live in Orange.
I do.
I know you do.
We still have not gone to, what's your favorite place?
Portillo's.
Yeah, we still haven't gone to that. That was our first conversation.
Yeah, we're going to get into all of that. But you guys, Lauren Kettering is here with Thin Mints, and she's my favorite TikTok dancer from the start. She's an actress and social media influencer.
Got it.
So, guys, like I said, my favorite TikTok dancer. Anytime, she was honestly one of the first TikTok dancers that I also saw. You were in your kitchen dancing.
I know it's fun.
And it popped off. Yes.
Brand new
keys.
Yeah. No. Brand new house. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the butt move.
Yeah.
She's famous for the butt move, everybody, okay?
For the butt move. For throwing it back. Yeah, that's
throw it back, the scoop and out. That's what she's famous for, you guys. I love this girl. She's now living in LA doing big things. So I want to get into living in LA, family life, how you got out here. So let's start with all of that. How'd you get into TikTok and moving to LA?
Got it. So I've been dancing since I was 2. So my whole life, that's all I've done. I think I played soccer once when I was 3, got hit with the ball, never again.
That's always how it goes.
Yeah.
I fell off the balance beam. That's why I quit gymnastics.
And my dad was the coach. I'd make him carry me after that the whole time. And so that was it. I've just done dance. That's all I know. That's all And I think I just obviously Musical.ly was a thing. And that's when I had followed you on Musical.ly, because I being in dance, you were also a dancer. So I would see her I'm pretty well intertwined with the dance world.
I'm so famous, you guys.
You are. No, yeah. So, like, I would see her dance, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then all my dance friends, like, you know, we all knew, like, everyone knows each other in, like, the dance world. So that's how I knew Jordyn, like, before. And then I got to TikTok, and then I think I was just doing dances that I would see, like, you know, and that was one of them. And then I was wearing, like, it was actually funny because my dance friend, Robert, he was like, that was like when the e-girl thing was going on.
Oh, yes.
So he was like, Lauren, you need to dress like an e-girl. And I was like, what?
Oh, yeah, you're wearing like a big crew neck.
So it was like a joke because he was like, I'm gonna style you. But it was like on FaceTime. So he's like, I grabbed one of my brother's shirts. Like, it was literally like that. He's like, get a beanie, get a turtleneck. And we're like doing this like funny between us. I'm like, because this isn't how I dressed at the time. Like, now I have like
so you're like, thank you.
Yeah, no, like he's like, he texts me to this day, he's like, I should be your manager. I'm the reason, like, I'm like,
that is so true. Because it's really like, if the comments, like people were probably commenting obviously about your dancing, but at the same time, like, it was the thing.
Outfit,
it was
like
the outfit. People were talking about it, and that's so funny.
Yeah. So that's what happened. That's why I did that video. And then, I don't know, it wasn't, like, blowing up at first. Like, I didn't really notice anything. And then, because only, like, my friends followed me at that time. I had, like, 25K, but that was just from, like, random, like, summer videos and stuff. And then,
musically, too.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, it like blew up. It was like almost at 1 million likes, and I was like, what the heck? Because I was like, you know what, I thought it was cool, but like I didn't think anything of it. I was just kind of like, you know, because like even being in the dance world, I've seen people that are like big and stuff. So like I wasn't like infatuated with it. I wasn't like
on TikTok, like it's so easy like to blow up. So like when you have one video hit 1 million, you can't be like, okay, I'm quitting my job and I'm being a TikToker but like you really just continued to like grow.
Because even now you have to like figure out the algorithm. Like like right now I'm like shadow banned. Like a lot of people are right now. Like it's so bad, but I just like you have to figure out what like people want or what's gonna get on the free page. Because like you said, like one video can blow up and then the next, like, you know.
Oh, totally.
So that's exactly why I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, I'm not like, oh wow, like I'm this, like, you know. It's just like, okay. And then I kind of just kept doing dances. So I was like, that's the thing I enjoyed. I was like, oh, people make up these dances, that's so cool. I started making
and if that works for you,
right. So then I just kind of kept like people like remembered the video. And then I don't know, I think I got invited. Somehow I met, like, you know, some friends in LA and stuff, and then they invited me to Winter Lights, and that was in Florida. So that was, like, the first meet and greet. So I went for, like, the experience. I was, like, I didn't expect people to, like, know me. I had a few videos that blew up. I was like, this is cool. So I went, and, like, actually people, like, knew me. I was, like, shocked. I was like, oh, okay, this is really cool. And then kind of from there, like, after that was Brat, and so I was still in school. Okay. I took time to go to Florida, and then when I got asked to be on the first season of Attaway General, I thought I could make it work. Like, I didn't know how it was, so I was like, okay, like, I'll go. I did independent study, so I would do half at school and half at home. So I would do my AP Lang and medical. I was in the medical academy at my school.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
so you went Attaway General was, like, ready for you.
Yeah, that was funny for me. But, like, I was, like, serious about the medical field. Like, I loved it. But I was in, like, a really strict medical academy at my school, so I took those two classes because I felt those were like the most important to me. So that was first and second period, and then I thought I could like go to after like whatever. So I was doing both at the time, and then once I realized I was gonna be filming for like 3 weeks every day, and then like they were like, no, you're gonna have to be here at like 6 a.m. and like you're not gonna leave till like 7.
And there could be like seasons,
right? So I was like, okay, so I had to like go fully online, and that my parents were super supportive of it. I just like they kind of told me like they felt like I was always like, because I was always super outgoing as a kid. Like I'd go to my mom's work. She works at the school that I went to, and I would like make sure all her coworkers were like watching me dance. I like come home from dance, and I would go to her work, and I'd be like, guys, watch me. But like I was like a sassy like 6-year-old, so I was like, if they weren't watching, I was like, sassy. Watch me. Yeah. I was like, you're not watching. So I was just always like, I liked being out there, and so I felt like they're kind of just like, I felt like she could do something with it. So they kind of were like, let's just take it, opportunity. Like I was still at home. And then I went to Chicago, and then just went from there. I just kept doing things. And then that's when I was staying at Hype a lot. I was really good friends with, or I am really good friends with them, and I was staying there. And that's when I was, like, really getting to know people and, like, how this whole thing works. And then from when I was staying there, I get a call from Maddie one morning, and then she was like, oh, I'm kind of, like, wanting to start this house. It's, like, going to be the first all-girls house, this and that. And I was like, wow, that's super cool. I was already, like, in LA 24/7. Like, I would stay there, like, with a suitcase. Like, you know, like.
I remember.
So I'm just, like, I might as well, like, move. And, like, the ideas sound really cool. So it was just me and her. We kind of started the whole thing. And then we were finding people together. And that's kind of how it happened. And then my parents moved out. that had its own thing, and now I was like got my own apartment, and that way I have my own schedule, and like I could do things. Because another thing is when I was in the house, which I don't know if you're gonna talk about that later, but I had to like stop dance. So a lot of things. So I don't want to say too much. So there's like not too many questions, but
so it kind of seems gradual, like how like my life was. Like everything was like it wasn't just overnight or like your life changed like crazy, but like it was 3 to 4 months of like gradual. But is there a moment that sticks out to you that you were like, holy crap, I could probably like do this for a job, I should just obviously you're probably still doing like homeschool or whatever, but like when was it that moment where you were like, okay, this is what I want to do and this is where I want to make my money? And
I think it was when, I mean, obviously the meet and greets, like when I was in Chicago and when I was in Florida, I've never done something like that. Like, I'd travel for dance, but like I'd strictly be dancing. I wouldn't even see the world. Like, I'd just be dancing,
you never go out of the hotel.
The first time I went to New York, I was like, for 2 weeks straight, every single day of the 2 weeks I was dancing. Like, I didn't even see New York. But I thought it was super cool. I was like traveling and I just like, it was really cute. I like love like kids and stuff. So I was like seeing like people and they're like all excited. Like, I thought that was really cool, but I think the moment was probably when I started going to LA more, and that's when I was like meeting everyone, because I was like, wow, like it's just different too. Like, obviously like when you start social media, if you're like in school, I was still in school when it happened, and I had gone to homecoming with someone that was an influencer, so it was just like so I get all the comments, like it was all the like the, oh, you're ruining your high school like experience, you're gonna ruin it, this and that. Why are you doing like TikTok? And then it was just like my teachers would say stuff.
Who's your homecoming date?
Chase Hudson. We were really good friends. We met at like the OC fair, and then I met with he was with Cayman and Lance with the photographer. Yeah. So I'm still really close with Lance and them. And that's just kind of like, and then I think I was supposed to go with someone. I was talking to like this guy from like another school. Yeah. And then something happened with that. And then so I had 2 homecoming dresses. So I think it was like as easy as like I posted on my private story like, oh, like which one? And then like since we were friends, he was on it. And then he was like, oh, I want to go to a homecoming. Like I've never been to one. And I was
so you brought him.
So then he was like, oh, like I want to come. So I was like, are you like actually you want to go to a school like homecoming? And then his parents like messaged mine. We got the like thing. That's how that happened. But so I would get all like the little comments. But I feel like when I started going to LA, like everyone knows like that's how it is. No one's treating you like I mean, there's its own thing, but it's like different. Like everyone was doing the same thing, so like everyone had something in common. Like it was just a different vibe, and I was like,
it's like a family, but at the same time, it's like. Truly, everyone does want to be like on top of everybody else.
Yeah, that's
so. At the same time, it's like, it's so crazy to be in that LA world, because even though I'm like in it, I'm really not. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I've tried to like always stay away from it, but at the same time, like, it's so hard to be like an influencer and like you can't collab with people because like I'm not in that group. Yeah. But then it's like, I don't know, it's just like I've always never wanted to like be a part of a house or anything like that, because I feel like there is so much really like drama and everyone truly does want to be like have more followers than you. It's oh my god. It's like you can't truly be like, in my opinion, I feel like I can't truly be like best friends with people who are like there, because it's just like I feel like people are trying to always be better than me, like have the better outfit even, or just like it's just so competitive and like
it's so it's like like that's I've gone through like a lot of that. It's just like it's like it's always like you can do something and then they have to like do it or like do it better. It's like like we're just like I'm just living my life like 'cause I don't like that.
I've always got that vibe from you too. Like like Sienna and you, like I always have gotten the vibe of like just genuine, want to have so much fun type of people, and like not trying to be like backstabbers or anything. Like,
that's also why, because like I just like that's why when I like met you, I was like, this is really cool, because like I know you've done it for a long time. You obviously haven't done anything wrong, because like so I was just like, that's how I am like right now. Even like I'm trying, I'm really focusing on like who I'm surrounding myself with, because like a lot of the places I was in, it was like I felt very toxic for me, and like honestly Gio was the one that helped me realize that. He was never like talking bad about where I was or like the people I was with, but he was just kind of like,
cares about you.
He was like, are you genuinely happy? And I was just like, oh Like, and, you know, like, we got into that conversation. Like, I just feel like there's no, like, depth in the conversations that people you're surrounding you with. It's always drama. It's always this. It's always that. And, like, you always feel like this person or that is, like, competing with you. And I was just like, you're right. And, like, I don't know. It's just, like, I have had a lot of the competition things, but that's what I was saying. Like when it first starts, you know, it's really exciting and stuff. So when I was in LA, I was like, wow, like I really want to like work hard so I can like be out here and like do things that I'm like near everything. Because that's super cool, and it's good because like I'm in Orange County, so it's like an hour drive, and like that used to be far for me. Like to go to LA like at a younger age, I'd be like, we have to plan our day to go to LA, and we have to stay there all day, And now it's like I go back and forth every time, So but
do you have a driver's license now?
No.
Do you know how to drive yet?
I have my permit and I got a car.
Same.
But
what car do you have?
I got a Land Rover, like a Discovery for now, because this girl like in my area was selling it, and like I wasn't looking for a car. Like I was gonna wait till I got my driver's license. And then my mom was like, because I've always wanted a Range Rover. Yeah. And so my mom was like, oh, this girl's like selling it. It's really nice. Brand new, like almost, she barely drove it. Yeah. No, like not one scratch, not one thing, like only like very low mileage. And I was
she was like, I just need a Bentley. Like, what is this?
Actually, she's like, so she was like wanting to sell it. And I was like, honestly, like, it's my first car. Like, I don't need anything crazy. I probably will, like, suck at driving. So I was like, let's just, like, take it easy. And then I'm, like, practicing in that right now, just around my neighborhood. But I need to do, like,
I'm
behind the wheel.
practicing in my neighborhood with my Land Rover.
But you can't say anything about
I know. Oh, gosh. Like,
I'm working on it because I need to get that.
So when I was 16, my parents bought me a used E350 convertible Mercedes, and that was basically like my mom's car because my dad didn't live in LA with us, so like he wanted to make sure like she had a car to drive around in, but it was like my present because like it was a convertible and like my mom could drive me in it. So then that car didn't have a permit, didn't even try to drive that. Don't even think I was. Oh yeah, I was old enough because I was 16. I'm like, don't even think I was old enough. And then my BMW 750i, I was like planning on like getting my like permit. I was gonna drive this thing, learn how to drive it, crash it into a insurance company building, like insurance
like the wall,
building.
Right?
Yeah,
but it wasn't.
No, the wall. Yes, the wall. So then I got a permit, got Zippy, my amazing Tesla. Then I got my license.
Yeah, and then you drove me. You scared the shit out of me.
You can curse whatever.
Going pretty fast.
But
she's like, I just got my license. I was like, let's just like take it easy.
Oh yeah, it was my first time driving to LA, and I had picked her up. Okay, let's go back and talk about how we met.
Okay, we're like going. Like,
I know how we met. I just remembered. Well, first of all, I was always like texting her and DMing her.
Well, yeah, so that's what happened. You had DM'd me on TikTok after that video. She followed me. I think I already followed you. Did I?
I don't remember.
I don't know, but I was just like, oh. And I was like, yeah, like I followed you before. Like I followed you definitely on Instagram. I don't know about TikTok, but I followed you on Instagram because of like, the whole dancing, and I liked what you were doing. And like even you were in the social media, like I always liked that. I always wanted to do some type of like YouTube or this and that, but not knowing how big it could actually get, you know? So I'd always followed you, and then I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like, yeah, like I know you from like the dance, blah, blah, blah. And then you were like, what's your Instagram? And then from there,
I think we met at the picnic, right?
No, our first time. Well, that's true. Yeah. But we met at the Netflix premiere.
Yes, very quick. I think
very quick. But I was just like, oh.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think I was just like, oh my god, she's so rude. I'm just kidding. But like,
do you think that?
I don't know. I was just like, I
was like by myself with like. So like but like that was also.
I was by myself with.
Well, that's also like a reason. Like I wasn't really able to. But, you know, like, it was, like, she invited me to a picnic, and she goes, oh, it's my close friend, like.
I was doing, like, an all-girls thing, and I was like, oh, my God, I don't know any other girls. Then I was like, wait, I actually want to hang out with this girl. And so I think I invited, like, 2 people I really didn't know to, like, my best friend girl.
Yeah, she's like, oh, do, like, a really close friends picnic girls day. I'm like, okay. And we met that day, but we, like, got along, like, right from the bat.
You got in the car with Lily. We drove to the Hype House in the canyons.
We got rolled
ice cream.
Did we get it? Rolled ice cream? Or, like, was it, like,
closed?
Yeah, so we got, like, a different.
And
but it wasn't rolled.
It was organic.
I still haven't tried.
It was Holy Roly.
Yeah.
0 out of 10 recommend. It was just it was the middle of like central LA or like South LA or something like that. That was where it was like really scary because we were just us 3 girls.
How do we get all the way over there?
We were driving everywhere. We left from Malibu. We went to like West Hollywood, Cold World. Then we went to, I don't know, this is all on the same night that we met. And I remember we filmed a TikTok or 2 TikToks.
Our videos always did really good too.
Yes.
We have to do more.
We do have to do more. But, okay, now we're going to talk about your ex-boyfriend and how you now found a healthy relationship. Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay, so that's how, I've always known Sebastian because Sebastian, you always DM every girl you see on
Yeah, he DM'd me too.
Yeah, it was like the hey, and then I was just like, oh, hi, like, blah, blah.
Wait, I just remembered, like, how many times he's DM'd me.
No, he DMs every girl, and I tell him
But it was like 2016. I love you so much. You're so perfect. Heart, 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 heart.
So I met him, and then, you know, like, he was kind of near me, like, about with his hometown. I don't remember. Like, we met somehow, and then he invited me to LA, and that was, like, the first time I went to LA to go hang out with people. So I was like, okay, and that's when I met Cynthia, and then that night, they wanted to go to, like, Mikey's house because they were just having a few friends over. This was, like, before COVID. So they're having, like, a few friends over. So we went to Mikey's house, and, like, Diego was there, Luca, Jesse, all of them. So I didn't know anyone. I was just like, hi. Like, Mark Thomas was with us.
Mark is such a doll.
Yeah, he's so nice. Miss you, Mark. But, yeah, so he was mainly the one I was staying with on it because, like, I, you know, hang out with him because, like, he's, like, talkative and, like, welcome. Like, I didn't know anyone else. So I was just kind of like, hi to everyone. We just stayed there for a bit. And then after that, I think, like, Diego had joined one of my lives. And then it was just like, oh, like, I DM'd you. And then, you know, we were friends. Like, I wasn't looking for a relationship at all. And, like, I think I had made that clear, but somehow, I don't know. But, and then he was kind of more like, oh, like, I think you can, like, blow up. Like, I think you could do this and that. Like, you should come to Winter Lights with me, blah, blah, blah. So then I was like, okay. So
You're like, if it wasn't for you, Diego.
I know. No, but, so we talked to, like, he talked to my parents about it and stuff. And, like, so, like, a lot of drama within it. But I'm not going to say because I haven't been on TikTok in a fat minute. So I'm not going to do that. But.
In, like, 2 weeks. 1 week. Because of the house stuff.
Oh, yeah, but I haven't said anything about the house. I've stayed out of all of that.
Okay, yeah. True.
I left and that's it. But, no, yeah, but I don't know. So that happened, and then that's how I got to Winter Lights, and then we obviously ended up dating, and then we did a lot more together then. But
how long did you guys date for?
Only, like, 4 months.
Yeah, I thought it was just short.
It felt like forever just because, like, we just weren't for each other. You know, it was, like, super toxic, and, I don't know. It was hard for me because...
And by the way, I literally thought that you were, like, 20 years old, and he was, like, 13, and I was like,
yeah,
this girl could be with, like, a freaking 23-year-old. Like, I was like, and then I saw her age, and I was like, oh, my God, they're the same age. Yeah. Like, you looked so much, like, I'm not, like, trying to trash on him at all, but I'm just saying, like, you look so much older. Like, like a woman, like a professional woman. And then, like, this boy, and I was like, oh, my God, they're the same age.
That's what Gia told me when he met me. He's like, I used to see your TikToks with him. I'd be like, she looks like 20. Like, and he was like, Diego.
Like, he looked like he couldn't even, like, kiss a girl yet. And then I think I saw, like, a TikTok of you guys, like, kissing or something, and I was like, oh, they're, like, dating. And then I was like, I literally thought she was, like, 20.
Yeah.
They were old enough to kiss them.
Yeah, so that was that. That was hard for me.
How did it, like, end?
Well, it was hard for me because that was my first time going into social media, and then he kind of wanted a relationship. And now I would give advice, don't get in any relationship when you're trying to, like, do social media or, like, come into it because... You know, I've lost a lot of opportunities with, like, collabs and this and that because, you know, some people in relationships don't, like, want you.
Jealousy, too.
Yeah. So, I, like, even at Social Bash, I went with him, like, it would be, like, little things, like, to film with people. I couldn't really do that. Like, I'm not trying to, like, bash on him at all. It's just, like, we've talked about it. We're fine. Like,
a lot of jealousy,
like, this is already put out there when we, like, argued on social media. So, that was hard because, like... I just got into social media, like, that's when I was blowing up, and then that's, like, what I was in. So, like, I couldn't really, like, do a lot, and then a lot happened within it that, like, I would keep from my parents because it's just, like, they would not let me, like, you know, they'd be like, what the, you know? So I was trying to handle it on my own, and it got really hard. I was, like, pretty upset, and then I just kind of realized something happened. When I was home, he was on tour, so I was just like, okay. And so then
Which is how it always happens.
Yeah. Things just kept happening, and then it was like, I don't remember how we broke up. Like, I think he was, like, mad, so we hadn't talked in, like, 2 weeks because he was just ignoring me. So I was like, all right, like, I'm not going to keep, like, trying, and then it kind of just ended. And then from there, like, he found out I, like, talked to, like, Kyrie, but I didn't talk to him like that. He just, like, he FaceTimed me, like, oh, I saw TikTok Room, like, are you good? And then, I remember how it ended. We were at Alex Guzman's house. And that's how Alex and I became really close, because he was there and saw how it happened and how I was talked to and stuff like that. And it was simple as, like, a little thing that happened, and then he left. So I don't know Alex. Like, I was only at Alex's because of Diego, and he left me at Alex's. So I'm like bawling my eyes out. At that time, my parents wouldn't let me Uber by myself. They were, like, hated Ubers. So, like, he knew that, and he would have to Uber with me or, like, take me to my dad's work or, like, this and that. So my parents were, like, furious, because then right away after he left, he did the whole blocking me thing, and then it showed we unfollowed each other, and then it was, like...
And it was all public.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I don't like public things like that. Like, I've never had a social media relationship, so I'm like, this is my first, like, social media relationship, and this is how it's going, you know? So that was probably the worst time in my, like, whole thing. Like, I was like, I don't think I can handle this, because I was probably on TikTok 14 times in a row because of this, and, like, getting the comments and this and that. Yeah, and so he had a strong fandom, so it's like
it's always the guys that like have the girls to just back that.
It's just like things like that. It's just like a lot of maturity things. Obviously, like a guy. Well, again, 16,
like I literally thought that you were like.
But like, yeah, a guy at 16 is mentally like 12. And then a girl at 16 is like 16, 17. Or like, I have older siblings, so like I've always had the mature mindset of like, you know, fortunately I have my parents together. I've seen like a very healthy marriage. And then my sister and brother, my brother was in a long-term relationship for 7 years. He got cheated on. Or like she's like with his best friend now, his ex-best friend.
Ow.
So that's great. But I've only seen like how like my siblings treat people, like, you know, like how that was healthy. It was super healthy at the time, and like my sister has always been in long-term relationships, and you know, she's very like, my sister's super sweet, so like she's just always like has her life together and like things like that. So I'm like,
love that.
That's all I know, you know. So I'm like, I've only seen like maturity type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot older like mentally than I am. Yeah. And that's why I think like the whole thing with Gio's working out, because he is older.
But you're like on his level.
Yeah. Like I'm the one that's training him. So it's like a little train my dragon moment. But I love him.
Like how I always say it is like dancers are so like professional and like you have to be on set, and especially when you're a kid in the industry and you're especially like acting or being on TV and you have a schedule and you have times, or
that's another thing. When I was on set, we were on the show together.
Much faster.
Me and Diego were on the show together, and that's like I would stay in LA with him because I would have to go from Anaheim, and so like to leave in Anaheim, that was like I would have to leave at like 6 a.m. or no 5 a.m. I'd have to wake up at like 4:30, leave at like 5:30. Like it was just not like otherwise I could wake up at like 6, get there at 7.
It's like you had like a job, you know what I'm saying? And like a lot of 16-year-olds, they just go to school and they play with their friends or they play video games. When like we grew up like from probably like 7 being dancers, like competitive dancers, it's like we were constantly like working.
Yeah. And that's when I got scared, because like, you know, like he wasn't so serious about the show, but I was, because I was like, any connection is good. Like you don't want to ever ruin your reputation with like a brand or anything.
And it was your first acting job too.
Yeah, and I'm like, if I want to get into acting, that's a good place to start. And like, you don't want them saying, oh, you were always late, this and that. So that's a lot that happened. And like, they saw like that I really truly like didn't want anything bad, and that's why I was on the 2nd season. But it was just like, it was a lot of that. Like a lot of my opportunities were like ruined, kind of, I feel. But
I feel like being especially like in that relationship and publicly, this is like a good question. How did social media positively affect your life and negatively affect your life so far?
Well, positively, I felt like I mean, it was really cool. Like, obviously, I have created a really strong fandom of my own. To, like, I have, you know, talked to some of them. I do, like, the house party thing with them. I do Zoom calls with them. I talk to them a lot. So, like, that, I really like that because I'm able to help them. And, like, I care for them, like, a lot. Even if I don't know them, like, I just, like, have, like, a special spot for them because, like, they've talked to me about, like, some serious things going on in their life.
And you help them.
That.
Just like they help us.
Yeah, and, like, that's, like, the main thing for me. I think, like, why I, like, care so much about, like, affecting people on social media because I see how they are. Like, a lot of my supporters are, like, around from, like, 12 to, like, 15.
Yep.
So, like, it's just, and they're all mainly girls, so, like, I could also, like, relate to them and stuff like that. And positively, because all the things it has brought me and this and that. But negatively, it's really hard seeing, like, the comments. When I was going through that breakup, I wasn't the type of person to want to put it on social media. Until I was accused of things that were wrong and, like, people telling me to kill myself and do things like that, I'm gonna stand up for myself. Yeah. So then I go live and I say what is true. I go with my mom because my mom, like, defended me. She was like, how, like, I had to wake her up at 1 a.m. saying, oh my god, he just went live saying I, like, cheated on him because some guy asked me if I was okay on FaceTime. Like, and I'm like, I'm not gonna let that slide. I'm not gonna be, like, known as, like, you know, like, I would never do that to someone. So I was just like, you know, obviously I'm gonna defend myself. But from there, I just kept going back and forth. And all I could do was, like, defend myself. And it was like, I wasn't the type to want to post it. But for some reason, he wanted to keep posting things about it. So that's when it got bad. And that's when, like, I was getting, like, so much hate. And it was super bad for me at that time. Whole fandom, like, came at me. Like, they leaked my number then. All this stuff. Like, it was just, like, that was, like, the worst part, I think. And that's what I think, like, if you're coming to social media, you have to, like, really be prepared for that because, like, you can't really be immature because, like, if you're immature with that type of stuff, it's gonna go away real quick, you know? And,
you really have to, like, people say, like, say what's ever in your mind, like, speak your mind, but, like, it's, like, in this world, you cannot say what's on your mind. You have to keep everything in. You can't, like, it's so easy to get canceled. You can't, you have to be, like, so freaking, like, role model perfect that if you can't even, like, handle that, then...
Yeah, because the second you're, like, on that, like, page or anything like that, you're gonna, like, I would wake up every morning during that time. First thing I did, check TikTok. Like, I would wake up because I was thinking about TikTok.
So, like, when Musical.ly was a thing, too, like, Messy Monday. Oh, my God, I had their notifications on because it was, like, you had to find out everything from that page. And...
Like, you wouldn't even know you did something wrong until you're posted on it.
Or, like, that someone said something about you or that someone cheated on you. Or, like, and it's just, like... It's like, okay, so dope. So dope. So, Lauren, the name of the show is What They Don't Tell You. So, what's one thing they don't tell you about being in a content house?
Well, I can't speak for all content houses. I don't want to, like, put down any other houses. But for the one that I was in, the contract, they said they would bring us deals, they would do this and that. You know, it'd be super flexible, like, blah, blah. They were very controlling. They... like, would hold it against me. So I'm supposed to go to dance every single day of the week, right? I would go literally only Tuesday nights because I worked it out with my dance studio that I would go Zoom on Mondays and, like, Wednesdays and stuff, and I would go to class on Tuesdays. So, like, we worked it out with them. So, like, the least thing that, like, the house could have done was, like, let me do that. So I would literally leave either Monday nights or Tuesday mornings. Like, I would leave, and I would go to Anaheim, go to dance, and I'd either come back Tuesday night or Wednesday. That's it. Like, I was not gone for long. No. And any discussion we had or, like, you know, when I had the dog and I was trying to move to, like, rooms because, like, I just didn't have room. Like, I had, like, one of the smallest rooms, I think, in the house.
Yeah, I know.
And, it was always like, well, you're never here. You never do this. You're always at dance. Like, you're never here. And I'm like, I leave for one night. Like, that's just, okay. So I quit dance, right?
Oh,
so,
my
like,
gosh.
That's something I've been like, I'm like, I don't know. Which, at the same time, it is really hard to go, like, competitively right now because it is pretty much all on Zoom or you're going to dance with masks on, like, for hours. Like, I just, like, and then also, like, you pay a lot. My parents are paying a lot of money for dance. Like, dance is expensive. And you don't know how the competitions are going to be this year. Like, I don't know if it's just going to be just to, like on TV or, like, on, like a live stream or if, like, a certain amount of people. So I just don't think it's going to be the same anyways. So I was like, I still want to do something with dance, but I don't know. But still, I didn't feel like that should have made me quit the house. And then other things, like, I didn't, you know, personally, I didn't make, like, anything in that house. I did more deliverables, which is giving them money, which is how they pay the rent, right? So, like, I'm expecting that. But I did, like, 4 a week or like always, and like that's like for me is like a lot of money.
And it's like you might as well just be paying for your own rent at that point.
Because I was losing a lot more money than I could have been like making, you know, and
which is what happens with a lot of the houses, not just yours. I feel like I've heard that from a lot of people where they just don't make any money, and they're making this house big or this group big, or everyone else is getting $30,000 brand deals when it's just getting taken from you.
Right. So that's the thing. I'm just like, they were just easily taking it without me knowing. And like, and then, you know, like you said, not that there was any drama or anything, but with the, like, it is hard to live in a house with a bunch of other people. Like,
especially girls.
Yeah,
only.
especially girls. And like, once we merged the house, there's 9 girls in it. So it was very split because like we had 2 different houses. If one wasn't free to do, you know, a lot of those things. And it was a little hard because like, just things. And then I guess I don't know, it was just like the management just kind of like lied about everything basically, and there was a lot of sketchy stuff that we found out. So I would say what they don't tell you, I just feel like you have to really be careful with like contracts, of course, obviously, but like I've got lucky with my management. Like I've been with them for a year. They're super transparent, everything. But
you're like, read the contracts. That's what they don't tell you.
But I don't know, like it's just like a lot of like sneaky stuff. Yeah. Because even if it doesn't say it on there, something will happen. Yeah, I definitely thought it was like the best thing for me to like go on my own, and like also so I have my own schedule. Because when you're in a house with a bunch of people and you're all trying to do something together, you don't have time for like what you need to do, what you want to do. So I
remember I invited you somewhere and you were like, oh, I can't, like I have to go on like a boat and like
like we had to like go on things as well. Yeah. Like I also like I missed my like one of my really close friends from home's birthday because we had to like all go to like that Big Bear trip and then like do like that sweepstake, and like my manager was like, don't ever let them post don't let them make you post a sweepstake ever again. Like, those are not good. They don't know, like, you don't know if they're actually going to fly the people out, like, this and that, or, like, do what they say they're going to do. So when I had posted...
it's pressure on you.
But it was literally, I was in my room at Big Bear, and they're like, Lauren, come down, we need you to film this video. And I get a text from, like, the manager. So I come down, and they're, like, telling me what to say. Didn't tell me what it was about or anything. So, like, when all the girls got the hate for, like, the sweepstake, that's why, like, that was really difficult, because, like, that was not us at all. Like, we were forced to, like, say those things, and, like, I don't know. So it was, like, things like that. But, like, I had to miss my friend, like, you know, a lot of people, like, didn't understand that. They're like, oh, you're just saying you have to go do things for the house, but it's, like, they'll literally hold it against me if I don't.
I kind of, like, got that hint from you, because, like, it was, like, 2 or 3 times where I was like, oh, like, can you hang out or, like, whatever, and you were like, oh, like, I have to do this and I have to do this, but then I'm like, well, if you were on your own kind of schedule and you
and also, like, with people coming over, like, that's another thing, like, you know, you're not always going to be cool with every single person, so, like, I just feel like a lot of it was, like, I would never invite someone if my friends had something against them. Yeah. Or, like, I wouldn't want to make them feel uncomfortable. But, like, some things like that would happen, and it's just, like, it's hard because, like, they, like, didn't let, like, a lot of people over. Like, I just felt like I couldn't. Like, I had no freedom.
Well, yeah, you weren't the one that was, like, it wasn't yours, so, like...
and that's another thing. Like, I would never go downstairs to cook in the kitchen. Like, I would not do that. Like, because it did not feel like my house. Like, it was not... our house. Like, we lived in a huge house, like $20 million house, but like, it was so messy and like dirty. Like, they couldn't even like get people to like clean it good. Like, it was just like, you know, like,
you guys had like an ant problem or a spider problem.
Yeah, ants. I was at the Airbnb, but and then we, like, in the beginning, they mentioned this in their podcast, but like, we got evicted, but they were like like security guards that I hired to act like you're getting evicted. And, like, the first time we got evicted, it was, oh, he hasn't paid the rent. And the second time was, oh, you're not allowed to film in the house. Mm-hmm. And then they actually threw, like, I was in Anaheim. I came back that night because I got a call from Gio saying, like, oh, they asked me to come to NOCH right now because all your stuff is in trash bags on the side of the road. Everything. Open slime, water bottles, like, it was just, like, so bad. So, like, I had to tell a lot of brands, too, like, I lost the things because, like, I just, like, you know, it was, like, a really bad time.
I feel like that's happening with a lot of, like, houses right now. I don't really know, but, like, because with COVID, you're not allowed to, like, evict people because of, like, rent and stuff. Like, it's, like, a rule or something. So I feel like...
well, another thing
a lot of people just aren't paying rent.
Yeah, and, like, again, like, I don't do that part of it, so I don't know. Yeah. But that was, like, another thing. Like, it was only, at the time, it was me, Katie Sigmund, Maddie, and Ava. That was all that was in the house. I think Deb was there for one of them. I don't remember if she was there for both of them. And Cynthia was there for one of them. Not the first one, though. And Deb was definitely there, I think. And then we're all minors, right?
Yeah.
Every single one of us. And they come in armed, acting like they're gonna they're acting like they're gonna pull, like, their guns out and, like, things like that. And they're like, pack your shit up, or, like, cussing at us, like, pack your shit up, or we'll do it for you, or, like, we'll hit you. Like, saying things like that. And I was like, what? And, like, I was, like, going off on them. I was like, we need, like, I was like, we're gonna call the police. Like, you're gonna wait till they come here. Like, you didn't come with, like, you know, I don't know, FBI or anything. And then, they also went into Maddie's room, like, and she was like just got out of the shower, like, to barge into her room. Like, you're not gonna barge into. And then, like, I was telling the police, like, everything that happened. Oh, like, all we could do is, like, mark them for, like, it's like a warning for trespassing. And I'm like, okay, but you're gonna, like, forget about the parts where, like, we all as minors feel violated and they threatened us and, like, this and that, and,
like, I'm gonna hit you, like,
yeah, like, and then they are arms, like, what? Like, I don't know, they couldn't do anything about it because LAPD, they don't care. But, and, like, we were in Beverly Hills, so I don't know why we couldn't get, like, the other place for them, but things were just sketchy in that house and, like, the other house, but, like, nothing really with the girls, just, like, the management, like, how it was run was just the main issue. So,
that just is really unfortunate. I don't even know. Well, we're going to get to fan questions now. Okay. So, if you guys want to be a part of the next, like, fan questions, all you guys have to do is, like, follow me on Instagram to be able to, like, ask questions. And Lauren's fans came through. So, here are some questions. And they're actually, like, not that bad. So, you're, like, totally chilling right now. Usually people are, like, going ham. Okay, how did you and Gio meet and start dating?
We met at NOCH, the Airbnb. It was Maddie's 10 million party, or, like, gathering thing. And he was there somehow, because he wasn't friends really with any of them. So I was like, but, okay, rewind. Before that, I would see him on, like, Melrose and stuff. He was, like, in a private little relationship thing, so he would never, like, he was kind of weird, like, he wouldn't talk to anyone, like, he'd stay with his group, like, he was just, like, but because he was
loyal man,
because he was also in a very toxic relationship, like, he wasn't, you know, he couldn't even say hi, like, it was, like, things like that, so, like, his whole friend group would say hi to, like, my group, and then, like, it's just weird, but I would always see him, and I saw him, like, a few times before that. I don't know, I've gone to, like, when he was staying at, like, Drip Crib, I went to Drip Crib once, and, like, things like that. And then, he came to NOCH, and I was like, why is this guy here? But, like, I didn't even notice him. Like, I was doing my own thing. Like, I was dancing. Like, and then I think I was talking to, what's the guy from Woods or Waverly Place? What's his name? Oh, my God, not me forgetting it.
Henry?
No. Oh, my God, Max? I'm so sorry if he's, Max. He was there.
How do I know this?
I don't know. I don't know their actual names, but he was there because he was friends with, like, Ava. So he came, and I was, like, talking to him, and all this stuff. And then Gio comes up, and then he was like, oh, like, I had glitter on me because we all put, like, glitter. And he was like, oh, like, he's like, I like your glitter. Like, where'd you get it? And I was like, oh, but I was, like, just, like, I'm, like, gullible, so I didn't think he was, like, trying to flirt or anything. I'm like, oh, you want glitter? Like, come, I'll show you. So I took him, and then he's like, oh, like, he's like, yeah, I need to make it look like a bad bitch was with me. And I was like, aren't you in a relationship? And then he was like, yeah. But then he thought I said, like, weren't you in one? So I was like, well, why are you going to do that? That's not good. And then he was like...
That's not good. Boy.
No. And then he was like, oh, no, we broke up, like, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, bet. And then we just kind of kept hanging out. And then that night he was like, oh, there's, like, another, like, little friends thing at Kids Next Door if you want to come. So I was like, sure. Don't even know the guy.
We love that house.
So I go... I didn't think about it. So I'm like, I didn't even think about, like, I was just, I don't know the guy. Maddie knew him, and, like, he was friends with Chris and stuff, and they were all,
Who?
like, Chris Romero. And Maddie, like, he was friends with them. So, like, they were, like, yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go to Kids Next Door. Maddie's like, okay, make sure, like, you know, come back, all this stuff.
Make sure you come back.
And, like, obviously, like, nothing. We just hung out, and he was, like, really cool. And then we obviously have a lot of mutuals and stuff. And then I come home, and then we kind of just kept hanging out from there. And, like, nothing, like, that. Like, we were, like, at first it was just, like, we were just friends. Like, we kept hanging out for a while. But he was weird. Like, we would, like, go out somewhere, and he, like, would not talk to me in front of, like, other... Like,
he doesn't talk. Like, no, yeah.
He was just, like, weird. So I kind of, like, in the beginning, I'm going to be honest, like, when we started talking, I, like, sat him down. I was like, I don't think, like... Because I get, like, bored easily, and he was, like, boring. He was so boring at first. Like, he just, like, wouldn't talk. Like, he would, like, act like he didn't know me when we went to public. So just, like, I was like, why are you weird? Like, stop.
You're boring, Gio. Come on, keep it up.
Gio, I guess. He, like, convinced me. He was like, no, I'm just, like, I was nervous, like this and that. And I was like, okay. And then from there, he was... Okay, so I'm going to talk about the age, too, so that can get off our backs. He was 20 when I met him, and I'm obviously 17. He thought I was a lot older. He didn't know.
Like everybody, yeah.
So we obviously we don't do anything bad, and, like, we, like, weren't doing anything at all. We were just hanging out. And then, he was like, oh, wait, how old are you again? Like, thinking I was, like, 18 or 19. Like, and I was like, oh, 17. And he freaked out. He was like, oh, my God, like, no, like, I'm not.
I remember this story.
Because, like, he's, like, not a creep that you guys are saying. Like, that really affects him when you guys say that, so let's stop. Because, obviously, I wouldn't be with him, or my parents wouldn't let me be with him.
And I was thinking about this on the way here. It's like, don't get mad at people for literally things that, like, you do.
Yeah.
Like, I know dang well that there's so many people out there that... It is especially, like, you're just in a relationship, you're not doing anything that's, like, not allowed.
Yeah.
And you know what I was thinking about the other day?
Yeah.
It's really bad. The age of, like, consent is 16 in Vegas. So, like, I'm like, dude, it's allowed in one place.
Yeah.
I'm like, but obviously you guys are doing anything, but I'm just saying, like, it's just, like, there's so many people out there that are, like, but it's just because you're an influencer, it's hated on, okay.
Yeah, so that's another thing. It really affected him because he was scared of that. Like, he kind of stopped doing social media for a while. So, like, he didn't want to come back to social media and then be like, oh, like, I'm dating, you know. Mm-hmm. So we never, even to this day, said we're dating. Obviously, people know we're dating now, but
I remember you guys never like had a date.
We still never announced it or whatever. But basically, like, we just kind of just kept hanging out, and he was freaking out about it. He, like, you know, was worried about that. He didn't want me or other people or my friends to think he was weird. And then Maddie and Chris, they all had their, like, little age gap, and they're like, if you love her, just, like, do it. If you like her, do it, you know. Like, he kind of was just like, I do. Like, it's not, like, anything to do with her. I just don't, you know. He was freaking out about it. And then even my dad was a little weird about it until they got to know Gio. My mom always really liked him from the start, and then he would come with my family. He's probably one of the sweetest guys. So me, like, he has no bad intentions ever, and like he's just I don't know, like he's really like respectful, and like probably it is the healthiest relationship I've been in. Because, I don't know, he's also older, like, I have that older mindset.
But you teach him.
Yeah, but he still teaches you. There. But, yeah, we, like, work really well together. And, like, we, like, from the day we met, we kind of just kept hanging out every day. So now we've gotten used to that. Like, we hang out all the time, like, every day. Which people say is bad, but, like, we don't, like, argue like that or anything. Like, and we don't get, like, bored. Like, we kind of just, like... He could be there and we can, like, not even talk and we'll be fine. Like, we'll just, like, you know, and, like, he gets along with everyone. Like, everyone at NOCH loves him. All my friends, like, love him. And, like, obviously I could get away with it, like, without him. Like, I'm not, like, like that. But we do have a really good relationship. And, like, I think he's taught me a lot, too. Because he did see, like, how my last one went down. And then he... we talked about it in, like, his and stuff, and he knew, like, some things that I got, like, insecurities from because of my past relationships, and, like, every other relationship I've been in, I was, like, cheated on, and, like, it was just, like, things like that, so... He, like, knows how I am, and he was like, honestly, like, I used to be that way. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I used to be also toxic, but, like, because my ex was toxic, too. Like, you know, we're both toxic to each other. You know, that's how it always is. Like, one's toxic and then makes the other one, you know, crazy. Because you're like, oh, my God. So I get that. And, like, we both, like, related to that. And he was like, I could just help you. Like, I know exactly how you feel and, like, how, like, you know. And so, like, instead of, like... just, like, blaming me for, like, my insecurities or this and that. He's, like, just been, like, helping me out and, like, reassuring. He's really good at reassuring and things like that. So that's how that happened.
Bless you, Gio.
Yeah, my parents, like, love it. My family loves him. If I were to break up with that guy, they would probably cry. Like, they're like, you need to be so nice to him, Lord. I say, like, one thing. I'm like, Gio, stop. And my mom's like, Lord, be nice to him. I'm like, oh, my gosh. They love him more than me.
Gio's nice. Okay, next question is, how do you deal with hate?
Okay. Like I said, that one time during my last breakup, that was probably the hardest time for me, and that was when I was getting a lot of hate. I kind of had to learn fast, because I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to have to learn how to deal with this, right? So I learned the best thing is not to, like, really feed into it and engage it and say things. Unless it's, like, obviously, like, you have to defend yourself for, like, you know, if some people think you're meaning something bad and you're not, and you have to, like, you know, say it. Or if, you know, you do something and you have to, like, apologize for it or whatever. But, I had to deal with hate. Like, even when I was at Hype House, people from my hometown tried making these screenshots of me saying, like, the N-word, which I've never said or never typed in, like, my thing. And I don't have Twitter. I've never had Twitter because I think it's just like super problematic. Like I could like a tweet and then people are like, oh, like, and I won't even read the full tweet or something. Like I
something
just like
from 5 years ago.
I've just seen so much Twitter drama. I don't want to be involved in that. So I've never really had Twitter. When I was younger, I'd had it, but I never used it.
Yeah.
They had made these like fake screenshots of me and my friends from school who know me. Like even people that like knew me from school, but like I wouldn't talk to them. Like they were just in my classes. They sent it to me. They're like, Lauren, we know you. Like this is, you know.
Yeah.
But like this girl is like trying to like, and I was like, what? So I'm freaking out because I'm like, why? Like this is like so bad. This is when things started getting like good for me, and I was like, I just went live and I explained it because it's like a Snapchat picture and stuff. And, like, I was like, what? And then. I don't know, they're probably going to keep trying after this, but it's just, like, things like that, like, things are going to happen, and people are going to try to, like, cancel you for every single thing you do or don't do.
You're like, I'm just used to it.
But you kind of just, even with my hair, like, I dye my hair a lot, and that's just because I like it. Like, obviously, right now, like, it's actually not that dead. Like, you can feel it's pretty soft.
It looks really soft.
Because I've been taking care of it. Like, I wasn't taking care of it. I was getting my hair dyed all the time because I had that, like, access to, you know, like, Chrissy would do my hair and things like that, and I was like, you know what, might as well try something new. But I cut my hair and I took out my extensions and went back. And then my friend Kaylee, she dyes her hair, my roommate.
Yeah.
She dyes her hair a lot and it always looks really good. And she's like, I'm going to go to Arizona to get my hair done. Do you want to come? And I was like, honestly, okay, I'll just do the unders. But she has taught me, like, everything to use for my hair that's, like, helped me and stuff. So, like, for all of you saying I don't take care of my hair, I have been. Even though it's like I shouldn't have to like say anything about my own hair.
I know you guys out there, you're dyeing your hair.
Yeah.
Like, why are you getting mad at me?
So I don't know. That was like one thing. I get hate for like little things, or I did try lip fillers one time and I got so much hate for that. But it's like if you had like if someone were to DM you and be like, oh, would you want to try lip fillers? Like you probably would try it too. Yeah. Like if you wanted
and they go away.
Yeah, they like mine are like pretty much dissolved. I'm getting them dissolved actually. I went to go to get a facial yesterday from this other girl, Christina, and she's gonna dissolve mine. Because they're like crooked now. So but yeah, so
I love
like,
my lips so.
I don't know, but I've always like liked beauty stuff like that, getting my nails done, eyelashes. I've always gotten eyelashes since before, so I've only started getting like getting eyelash extensions
you
now.
were like known for your eyelashes at first.
Yeah, I don't know because like I used to do that all the time, and now people are getting mad at me for it because I'm getting like bigger. But I'm like, okay. So, like, with my hair, makeup, beauty, like, anything like that, I've always genuinely liked it. So, it's not like I'm changing or I'm trying to do anything. Like, that's just always my, like, what I like to do. And, like, if I can get them, like, why not try it? You know, obviously, I had to ask my mom, and like, she said, like.
Especially, like, you can try things. Like, it's not bad at all. If you wanted to change something about yourself, do it. And if you don't.
Yeah.
Like, just stay in your own lane.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I kind of learned just, like, you're not going to please anyone or everybody, you know what I'm saying? So if I want to do it, if I like it, then I'm going to do it. And hate's going to happen regardless, so.
Do you see a future with who you're dating now?
I do.
Last question.
Yeah, I do.
Aw,
just because it's just, like, it's, like, pretty, like, really healthy. And, like, if anything, like, we do feel something, we talk about it. Like, he never lets me go or leave or go to bed sad or any of that, which, like, I'm used to. And, like, I'm used to people leaving. That's the one thing. Like, anytime someone, or, like, my last would get mad at me, every time my last would get mad at me, he always left. Always. Like, it'd be, like, 4 in the morning, and he would be at my house in Anaheim and, like, Uber home to LA. And it's, like, I would wake up, and I'm, like, what the heck, and he'd be ignoring me for a week. Like, I'm just used to, like, that. So it's just, like, I don't know. We have a really good, like, communication thing going on.
Trust.
And, like, he is just super respectful, like, really good with, like, family. He's a big family person, which I like. It, like, he shows really good morals. He's, like, always trying to, like, better himself and, like, me, you know, like, always taking care. So I think we'd be together for a long time.
We love love.
Yeah. It's, like, it's weird because, like, I'm used to, like, the toxic guys. You know, it's, like, you never really like the good guys at first. But, no.
Love
He's
that.
the one.
Love that. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
What They
you
Don't
for having
Tell
me.
You. You guys can follow her on Instagram and TikTok at
Lauren Kettering.
yes. Anywhere else, YouTube. They all say that you haven't been posting on YouTube, so
Yeah, I will post on YouTube because I'm trying to get settled to my apartment. We just got our furniture 2 days ago. We went a week without furniture, but we just got it.
And Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah, yeah. So we just got that. So I'm trying to get settled. But Kaylee and I will be doing like a roommate YouTube channel together, and then I'll be posting on my own. So
okay.
but that's just Lauren Kettering, I think. So
So, yep. And then make sure you guys just rate the podcast 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. And I will see you guys next Thursday with Kellyanne, my best friend, which I haven't even seen since December. And I haven't even seen her ring. So we're going to get into all that next week. I know, it's so terrifying. Okay, bye, guys.
Okay, bye.
Peace.